All right, so you're thinking about making a move to Phoenix, Arizona in 2023, and your plan is to rent. It's not too early to talk about, and I think there's a lot of good reasons why people might want to rent coming up here in 2023. Maybe you're, trying to get a feel for the neighborhoods before you make a decision to buy. Maybe you're just trying to figure out if Arizona is right for you in general. And maybe you're trying to figure out if the market's going to shift to get prices back down to a level that might make more sense for you. Again, a lot of reasons to consider. But at the same time, if you are going to rent, you need to be prepared. And there's a lot of things you need to know about the Phoenix rental market before you pack your bags and head here to the desert. So in this video, we're going to give you our top 5 things you need to know about the Phoenix rental market in 2023. And make sure to stick around to the end because I think the last reason is something a lot of people are overlooking. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Corbett with the AZ Lifestyle Group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to this channel and you're looking to find out everything you need to know about what it's like living in and or moving to the Phoenix metro area, including if you should rent coming up in 2023, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video. We are helping people from all over when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when it comes to moving to the Phoenix Metro. All right, guys, so before we get started, I want you to know that this video is not about persuading you against renting, trying to get people to buy. On the contrary, with prices being inflated right now, I think people need to be very cautious before they make the decision to buy. So, and I'm going to be very straight up with everybody about that. But the rental market is no picnic either, and there are things you need to know before you go down that path as well. And so we're going to get into it. All right, so reason number 1 on my list, and we'll bring up this rent.com article for reference, and that is the Phoenix rental market is expensive. And this has to do with like cities with the highest rent in the U.S. And if we kind of scroll down and kind of take a look here, you'll see Arizona being highlighted with, 4 cities in the rental market. We're going to talk about these 4 entries, which come up as Scottsdale, Gilbert, Glendale, and Goodyear. But I think, that's just a snapshot of the entire Phoenix metro area. I think you'll find that all the cities, if you're looking home for home and kind of in an apples to apples scenario, you're going to find that all of them are fairly expensive right now. What does that mean? If you go down to Scottsdale here at number 68, Scottsdale's coming in at an average about $2,500 a month. And then you go down to Goodyear, which is right under $2,000 a month. So if you're looking for a rental, and this is for probably an average 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, under 2,000 square foot, you're going to be starting around the 2,000 square foot or $2,000 a month range up to $2,500 a square foot. Again, that's average for just what you can find. So be prepared for that. The Phoenix market is expensive. All right, on to reason number 2 on my list, and that is there's not a lot to choose from. So, we talked about people waiting potentially to kind of see how the market pans out over the next 6 months, trying to figure out if prices might be pushed down on the buy side. Well, that is putting a lot of people in the rental market. A lot of people are like, hey, I'm not going to buy right now and I'm going to rent and I'm going to wait it out and wait for prices to come down. So the problem is there's not a lot of rentals out there. So people are finding that it's a challenging market. Number 1, you're going to be competitive on that side too. So we're kind of fighting this battle on what's going to happen in the market and people deciding whether or not it is the right time to buy, because there's still a lot of people moving here and there's a lot of people that want to be out here right now. So there's not a lot to choose from. So you might not find that even in that, if you're in that $2,000 and $2,500 budget, you might find that there's not a lot of good options even in that price point. All right, on to the 3rd thing you need to know about rental market here in Phoenix in 2023, and that is the short-term rental market is insane. And what I mean by that is like there's just a ton of short-term rentals that are out here. We've seen a lot of people coming in to invest in the Phoenix market when it comes to short-term rentals. It's helpful if you want to find a place to stay for a few days or a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but it gets much more difficult if you need a place for a longer period of time in the 6 month to 12 month range. So, with those short-term rentals comes you get them furnished, but they're a lot higher pricing. So you could probably double the price. We were talking about the $2,000 to $2,500 a month range when it comes to like the long-term rentals. If you get into the same house on a short-term rental, you're probably in the $5,000 to $6,000 a month range. So you need to be prepared for that. So when we're talking about availability and how much things are going to cost you, that kind of hits both targets. That short-term rental market is really making things difficult on people. Definitely something you need to know. Real quick, you guys, if you're finding this info helpful at all, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to leave us a comment. We want to hear from you. Your comments help us to spread this message out to more people, and it also helps us to know if we're putting out the right content for you. We appreciate it. All right, number 4 on my list, and I've got a lot of people kind of going through this right now when it comes to rentals, and that is dealing with the owners and property managers can be a pain in the ass. And I think a lot of people know what I mean by this. I mean, you get into a rental and then you've got somebody who's hounding you, who's harassing you, who's making life a pain. You just don't have the ability to just kind of just do your own thing. And a lot of people are paying a significant amount of money and they're getting harassed constantly by some of these owners and property managers. You know, you're dealing with situations as far as like, you know, especially right now for people who are here during the summer, maybe your air conditioning goes out and you've got to worry about whether or not the person you're dealing with actually cares to get somebody out there right now. It sounds good in theory to have something on your lease agreement that says somebody will, you know, get out there and take care of that. But when you actually go through it and you're going through the situation and people don't seem to care, it can make life a little bit challenging. You know, just following some of the rules and guidelines and just some of the deposits and all the stuff you have to deal with when it comes to rentals, it's not fun. And obviously when you're weighing out going through that process versus potentially overpaying on a home, like I get where people would be like, hey, you know, it sucks to be in a rental, but I have to make that decision financially. But I mean, a lot of people are just like, I'm sick and tired of doing this. Like, it's just not fun to have somebody causing so many headaches in my life. And it's not every single property manager. There's some decent one out there. I don't know who they are. I just know that like there are some good ones out there. But man, the situations I'm hearing regarding some of the clients we're working with right now, it's not something that I would want anybody to go through. All right, number 5 on my list, the 5th thing you need to know. This is the one that I think a lot of people are overlooking when I'm having conversations with people who are thinking about coming into rent. They're going to be like, hey, Greg, we're going to rent January through March and just kind of get a feel for the neighborhoods, kind of figure out what's going on. I have to remind everybody, we have the Super Bowl here next year, which changes so many things. I mean, it's one thing, our market in general, especially January through March, is always crazy because of all the events that we have going on between the Waste Management Open and all the car auctions with Barrett Jackson. Spring training in March is always a disaster when it comes to trying to find rentals. There's just a lot of people here. So you add Super Bowl to the mix next year, and the entire rental situation is completely turned on its head. So for people that are coming out here and they're like, hey, I'm just going to come out, you know, in the prime time months, and let's call that December through April, you're going to have to deal with a lot of competition. Just because the Super Bowl's one weekend doesn't mean that you're going to have to just worry about that one weekend in early February or those couple weeks in early February. There's going to be a ton of people that are out here, and you're going to have to compete to try to find a good place to rent. And there's a lot of money that comes and floods the market. So that's why, you know, there's a reason why people are kind of holding tight on their prices, and they're like, hey, we're going to get to early next year and there's not going to be a lot available for people, and people are going to have to pay the prices that we're asking. So before you decide that that's going to be the time that you're going to come out, like, call us, because we can kind of guide you through that. I'm telling people right now, like, hey, if you got time and you can be patient, then maybe wait until April or a little bit later, because you're going to pay a lot less money once that, you know, the winter kind of visitor traffic dies down. All right, so those are my top 5 things you need to know if you guys are considering making a move here to the Phoenix area, late 2022, early 2023. Definitely reach out to us. We're here to help guide you when it comes to making that decision, whether it comes to whether you should rent, whether you should buy, and how to navigate the market. We're here to help with that. We'll leave our contact info on screen as always. We are here to help guide people in the right direction when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here. We absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move, and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back, and until the next video, we'll catch you later.